What were you attempting to do it through?
The computer.
No, yeah, it's only available on the phone for split lives.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm not
Well,
familiar with this.
well, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for stepping up and joining the platform. You're gonna have people ask you all types of questions now. So, what is your channel about? Who is Lisa J Stocks? We see you all over the place. You know your money. You're all about your money, and you're all about setting yourself for a better path for your children and stuff. We all see that too. So, we would love to hear from you.
Well, yeah, you started to tell them already. That's what I'm about. It's about striving for financial freedom and just making my money work for me, using money as a tool,
Yeah.
and just making better choices and things that I didn't grow up learning. I'm figuring it out, and as I figure it out, I'm sharing my journey.
So when could you say that you realized something wasn't right and you had to make that change financially, or maybe something happened to you tragically that made you have no choice but to change? Can you recall anything that when it initially started?
Yes, I think my tragedy is that I keep getting laid off. And
Yeah, no, no, no. That's a very good one because people get
and
so stable thinking that their job is going to be there forever, and these
yeah.
things do happen.
Okay, so I would say it was definitely after being laid off 2 times and then dealing with everything that went on with C-19 and just being so fearful of, what the world could look like. And, this is before I knew of any stimulus money or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just stressed about money and just keep on, having to look for a job over and over.
So
Those
for somebody that doesn't know what C19 is, like myself, can you educate me on that? I don't know what that is. Is that some
that's
US
my
policy?
that's my code word for COVID. That's how
Okay,
I
okay, okay.
that was my
Yeah,
discreet way of saying it.
okay. Okay, we all know that word then. Okay, let's
Okay,
get
okay.
that.
I try to, I don't try to be there.
C19. Oh, I'm gonna
Yes.
make a shirt out of that.
I try not to say, any trigger words on people's
Yeah,
channels just in
no,
case
no.
they don't like certain words said.
Yeah, no, it's true because there's certain words you can't say. I got flagged for one the other day, and my message didn't even pop up in the
Oh,
comments, so it does work.
yes,
But go
yes.
ahead.
So just the world going through that situation that we had never seen before, ever the lockdown and all of that.
Yeah, the terror.
So yes. So those things made me say, hey, I need to figure out my finances. I need to not be so dependent on corporate America. I need to make sure that, my money is working for me. And as I get laid off from these different jobs, I then need to do better on managing each account that I'm left with that I started off with the 401k.
Yeah. So when you first initially started, this is why I asked because did you have any background in finances? Is this part? I don't. You don't have to answer anything. You don't have to answer. Were you already associated with financial institutions as to why you had this urge to just jump into stocks, or is this something that you've always wanted to do as a child? I don't know. Like that's a
No, no. Until the last, about 6 years ago, the only investing that I did was just contributing to my 401k at my job. I wasn't doing any research or investing outside of that.
okay. Okay, fair enough.
So I did a shift in getting a better handle on how to manage my 401k, as well as opening additional accounts outside of that are not tied to retirement.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, what would you suggest for any of us that anything at all, anything? What would you throw out there about your channel that that we should come over there and learn something, or at least listen to something? Because I know we can't force people to go to anybody's channel, but at the same time, what will entice anybody to come over to your channel for future references? You're not a broker, are you?
No, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a broker. I'm just a
Yeah.
regular person that's just making sure to maximize my money and just sharing my story.
It's pretty crazy. I got to tell you, man, because you went from losing job, laid off, and now you're basically financing yourself in every possible way through with no knowledge at all. But now you've gained that knowledge over time. I see some of the people that you're working with, and they're not playing around either. And you're intense when you come live and you talk about this stuff. You know your stuff. It's not something that you just no. It's true. It's not something that you just make up or read over. You sounds like you legitimately know your stuff. You know what you're watching for. I do some stocks myself, but mine is not as closely watched as how yours is. And sometimes when I listen to you, I'm like, holy cow, I need to just let her do all my work.
Yeah, I know it's truly a passion. I mean, I don't want to leave any money on the table, and I've worked hard, and I want my money to be maximized. So, as far as my channel, I am in the US.
Yes.
Um so my point of view is my personal experience of thinking, what potentially could I get from the social security system, and you know,
Yeah. Which I don't know much about because I'm in Canada, so there's
yeah,
not
I
much I
thought
know
you
about the
were.
U.S. Right?
So
There's
I
not.
don't know where a lot of the viewers. That's why I was mentioning that, because I don't know how many
Oh,
viewers are in the US.
there's sources in the U.S. Simone
Mhm.
is in UK. Special is in UK. There's a bunch
Okay.
of people. They're all over the world on here, but it
Mm.
still doesn't matter. You're expressing your channel. You're in the
Yes.
U.S. You made that very clear. You do whatever it takes to make sure your family's secure moving
Mm.
forward for the future. You're not depending on anybody to bring you money or make you money. It's about grabbing a hold of your future and holding down the finances so you don't have to worry about somebody saying, "Listen, we don't need you here anymore." Sorry, due to company cutbacks and blah blah blah, which
Yeah.
nobody ever wants to hear because a lot of us are living in a bubble, right? Let's be honest. We work for a company, and at any given time, the company could say, "Well, you've been here 10 years. We can't afford to pay you no more. Here's your package. Walk away. Get somebody else in. It's cheaper." And you're thrown out there because you thought you're going to retire at this company. It just hit you hard, and now you got to start over from scratch because you
Yeah.
weren't saving any money, right? And you weren't
Mhm.
investing any money. So it's actually pretty cool that you were able to come up here and tell us that.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
how is it working for you though? Like, I don't want to ask you too many personal questions because I know it's pretty touchy, but do you find yourself gaining any ground? Is it something that you're going to stick to for now that you know it works and it's been happening over time and you've been successful? With the losses comes the wins. Any kind of thing you can throw out there to help us out.
Yeah, so I mean, the stock market, it is up and down, but overall, I would say that I'm in a place that I'm not taking any losses. Yes,
Nice.
yes, sometimes the market goes down, the market goes, the things that I invest into are
They're
sound
not volatile.
investments that are going to recover.
So
When
not
there's
volatile stocks.
Yeah, but at the same time, even when the market does dip severely, like with the tariffs and all of that that's going on,
Yes.
all of my accounts recovered from that situation that we had back in April.
Yeah.
And so I don't have, any portion of my portfolio that is something that is, speculative, is going to be kept small. And
Huh.
so, as far as, losses, I'm not about that.
Well, I'm going to tell you the truth. Okay, when I first started doing this, I took a lot of losses because I was just starting off as a dumb guy that didn't know anything about penny stocks, and then we started moving into volatile stocks. Then we got stuck on crypto for a while. I took some hits, but I also took some wins out of many of those, right?
Yes, yeah.
But at the end of the day, most of what I'm on now are just long term. I probably do need some guidance on how to better utilize these, but
Yes.
I just I can't find a time to really. I know that sounds really bad. You can't find a
Hmm.
time to make money. Sounds wild to me, right?
Hmm.
But I just don't have that education of the financial aspect of how to make it grow to the level that I would like it to grow. It's just doing it very slowly.
Yeah. Well, I know we're in different countries, but if there's any question I could try to help you out with, I wouldn't mind. So feel
I
free.
know. I
Feel
know
free.
you seem like you're a very helpful person with this, and you're always talking on your lives about, you know, just take the leap sometimes. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate your channel. Honestly, it's good to have you here, and I'm glad to have you up. And you're welcome here anytime. And if there's anything else you want to discuss, feel free while you're on here. Anything at all.
No, no, I don't want to keep you up, kids. Take too much of your time, but thank you, and it's nice to meet you. And if
It's,
anybody has a question before I drop down, let me know.
yeah, if you guys have any financial questions or anything you want to ask Lisa J. Stocks, please type it in the chat, guys. You have her here now, so just just reach out to her, and if not, she'll be back another time. You're always welcome here. Everybody's always